Yo, what is going on, guys? Star Wars Verse here, and welcome back to another video on Star Wars. And for those who have seen yesterday's video, you guys would have known that I recreated a specific part in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and I made a what if video on it. And it was what if Obi-Wan went to kill Palpatine instead of Yoda. And in that video, I went over the top and made Obi-Wan defeat the Emperor. Now, yes, I know he's not even close to the power of the Emperor, but if you guys have seen the video, you guys would have known or seen how he was able to defeat the Emperor. Now, so far, I don't have many subscribers, but I got feedback from my Star Wars fan friends, and they said, "Are you crazy? Obi-Wan would still lose no matter what." So I thought of doing this video showing you guys how powerful Obi-Wan Kenobi could actually be, and that he's actually a very underrated character. But before I do that, you guys don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel so you are aware of more Star Wars content coming your way. Okay, so at first, I admit, Obi-Wan was probably one of the weakest Jedis ever. He struggled to be nearly as good as the other Jedis, even when training twice as hard. He firstly focused on Form 4, Ataru. This was an aggressive fighting style, and not generally optimal for use against multiple opponents, and it was very ineffective against blaster fire. This fighting style was really bad for Kenobi. However, then he started adding his other elements to the mix, so he adds acrobatics in there. However, you guys would see that Obi-Wan didn't only study Form 4, because he had probably the best lightsaber blast deflecting than any other Jedi. Therefore, there is evidence that he studied Form 5, Xian, as well. Also with that, I said in the previous video, Obi-Wan had really powerful use of the Force and was really good at it. But so far, not the best at that time. I'm talking about him like when he's still a Padawan with Qui-Gon Jinn at this part. So there is evidence that he studied Form 6, No Man, as well, as he does add the Force into his fighting style as well. There was a time when Obi-Wan attempted to study Mace Windu's fighting style, Vapad, as well, but that resulted to him channeling your dark side when you use the fighting style. So his master, Qui-Gon Jinn, refused for him to use that. Years after, he noticed that his fighting style wasn't good at all, and therefore he studied Form 3, Sorsu, and this is where everything changed. Sorsu mainly focused on defensive techniques. Now, he did add his previous fighting styles to the mix as well, but Sorsu was the main. Obi-Wan became really good at this fighting style, which allowed him to survive very, very dangerous moments. For example, against Count Dooku, he was able to defend his Force Lightning easily. Now I know, yes, in Attack of the Clones he did still lose, but that was because Count Dooku's fighting style was a lot better. Now, Obi-Wan's blaster deflections were so good in the Clone Wars, he was able to walk solo in a blaster storm and deflect all of them. Obi-Wan was capable of using dual-wield lightsabers as well, but he was really good at it. For example, when he fought Darth Maul in Savage Opress, he was able to survive really, really well against the two Siths, also managing to cut Savage's arm off. His technique in Sorsu was so good, Mace Windu considered him the master of Sorsu, meaning he was the greatest duelist at this fighting style in the entire galaxy. Due to this technique, this technique, Form 3, he was appointed the rank of Master due to how good he was of this, and he became part of the Jedi Council. Obi-Wan Kenobi was by far the best Jedi when it came to deflecting blaster fires as well as defending himself in a lightsaber fight. One of his most successful duels came in against his various encounters with General Grievous. Despite Grievous's speed and the amount of lightsabers he had, Obi-Wan was always the one to defeat the droid. In Star Wars Episode 3, Obi-Wan with his fighting style successfully was able to defeat Grievous. He was able to block and dodge Grievous's attack so quickly it angered the droid. Whilst being able to do that, he was able to chop off his hands as well, despite the speed Grievous moved in, without Kenobi losing focus at all. When Obi-Wan dueled Anakin Skywalker, his former Padawan, he was seen as the only Jedi to be able to defeat Darth Vader in his full form. He was able to defend all of Anakin's attacks no matter what he put on him. Obi-Wan was also one of the only Jedis to survive Order 66 as well. So as you guys could see, Sorsu allowed Obi-Wan to survive even like the most dangerous times ever. Obi-Wan was also seen very powerful in using the Force, despite him being a Jedi Guardian, when they would only focus on lightsaber techniques. Obi-Wan's most used force power is probably mind trick, just like his master, because he liked to solve problems with words or like with the Force rather than engaging with a lightsaber. Obi-Wan was seen very powerful in this mind trick. He also delivered, just like I said in that video, very powerful Force pushes, which he would use it to blast his enemies to very far distances, and also can crush droids while using it. Kenobi can also use Force deflection, meaning he could stop blasters with his hands. Obi-Wan can also use Force super speed as seen in Phantom of the Menace. Obi-Wan was very good at using obstacles as an advantage as well, whilst using the Force jump. This meant that he could use the Force to leap in far distances. This came in handy in the Clone Wars when he went up against Darth Maul, and also it was really successful in Revenge of the Sith when he claimed the high ground. Believe it or not, but just like Yoda, Kenobi was able to block Force lightning with his hands as well. He, just like Yoda, could either absorb it or shoot it back. After many years, when seeing Kenobi going into hiding in Tatooine, in Star Wars Rebels, we've then seen Kenobi face off Darth Maul, in which he was able to use the exact same move that Maul did on Qui-Gon in Episode 1. Therefore, after Order 66, you could say that Obi-Wan switched from Sorsu to Ataru again. Not again, like just switched. But if Obi-Wan was so powerful, why did he lose to Darth Vader in A New Hope, Episode 4? Vader knew how good Obi-Wan was at lightsaber battles, so he didn't go all aggressive this time like he did in Revenge of the Sith. But due to the lack of practice, Kenobi knew it was time to die. It was time for him to become a Force ghost. So he let Vader strike him down. Therefore, Obi-Wan was seen as the best lightsaber dueler in Star Wars history. So overall, Obi-Wan is probably the most powerful Jedi, excluding Yoda, meaning he would have a slight disadvantage against the Emperor, but Sorsu could also be seen as an advantage whilst against him. Therefore, against Palpatine, Kenobi can be seen equally as powerful as Yoda. But in that video I made Obi-Wan tap into the dark side for a certain reason. But I'm not going to make you guys watch a whole entire new video just to find out what it is. So essentially, I made Obi-Wan tap into his past and made him remember all the horrible things that the Emperor was responsible of. So the death of his master, although Darth Maul did it, but it was because of Palpatine really turning Maul into a Sith, and then Order 66, and then the death of the younglings and Padawans in the Jedi Temple, but most importantly, the betrayal of his friends. With this, I made Obi-Wan fill himself with hate and anger, therefore being able to defeat the Emperor. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this video, guys. If you guys have enjoyed the video, please give a like and subscribe. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.